Hello and welcome to your MES lesson. I'm Claire. Today you're going to learn the what and the how of asking questions with how long be going to be plus ing. Let's start with what. What are these questions used for? They're used to ask about the length of time of an action in the future. For example, how long are you going to be scoping out apartments before you decide on the right one? Good. Now let's learn how. How do you use these questions? First, know how to conjugate how long be going to be plus an ing verb. Let's use the example, hit the snooze button before I decide to drag myself out of bed, to complete the sentence. If you want to ask about yourself, please repeat. How long am I going to be hitting the snooze button before I decide to drag myself out of bed? If you want to ask about me, how long are you going to be hitting the snooze button before you decide to drag yourself out of bed? If you want to ask about Jason, how long is Jason going to be hitting the snooze button before he decides to drag himself out of bed? If you want to ask about Gina, how long is Gina going to be hitting the snooze button before she decides to drag herself out of bed? If you want to ask about us, how long are we going to be hitting the snooze button before we decide to drag ourselves out of bed? If you want to ask about them, how long are they going to be hitting the snooze button before they decide to drag themselves out of bed? It's very important to memorize this conjugation fluently before you start practicing Video B. Next, really study your vocabulary. For example, how long are you going to be mooching off of your parents before you find yourself a job? Be fixing up your car before it's street legal. Be mulling over the idea of investing before you actually do it. In order to be a proficient English speaker, you need to understand how to build a sentence and use advanced vocabulary and expressions. Excellent! Now, let's review. First, what are questions with how long be going to be plus ing used for? They're used to ask about the length of time of an action in the future. Second, how do you use these questions? You use them by knowing the conjugation of how long be going to be plus ing and building a more specific question with the vocabulary. Well done! Let's move on to Video B to really practice making your own questions. Remember to keep on reviewing your vocabulary. I'm Claire, and I'll see you soon.